This is the wake up call. Hey journeys, welcome to another video. Happy start of your week if y'all start your week on a Monday. I am so happy to be back. Shout out to each and every one of you for coming back. So let's get into this message. We have Abiola Abrams, African Goddess Rising Oracle. I do have a few readings from this specific deck. You can check the thumbnails in the playlist down below to see if any of those messages also resonate with you. I have been considering doing an audio version of these. If any of y'all are into podcasts and y'all would like to hear the wake up call on a podcast, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. It's a project that I really want to kind of bring to fruition along with a host of other things. So some of y'all may or may not know, I actually finally quit my job. Yes, y'all, I did. I finally quit my job. And this will be my last week working there. I've had a little bit of mixed feelings as it relates to that. And so I just want a little encouragement for those of us who are stepping into a new chapter in our life and how we can ensure that we are not blocking our blessings from what it is that is to come for us. So Spirit, what message do we have for myself and the collective as it relates to the new chapter that is presenting itself in our lives? Honestly, I don't know how I should feel about these cards because these came out in a reading before, and I don't know if I need to just sage this deck or is it just a repeating message that we need to return to. So y'all definitely go check out that video Live Out Loud because it will give you some context as to why this is coming out. And then there's also another video in which I spoke to Rage, and that's going to give y'all context of why this came out. But what I'm sensing is that the mixed emotions that I'm feeling right now is going to hinder me from being able to live out loud, because Live Out Loud came out in the reverse as well as Radical Rebirth. Let's focus here. What we should really be focusing on right now is this Radical Rebirth card. Let's see what exactly is going on in the transits right now as it relates to this. And I'm taking this from cafeastrology.com. It's the timing with the moon. Better period this week for electing new initiatives. It is important to note that there are many factors to consider. This following window is a starting point. They are referring to the void of course moon. You generally don't want to elect a new venture when a very challenging aspect is applying. It's preferable to elect a time when a particularly positive aspect hasn't yet perfected. The moon is waxing this week, which is generally considered favorable for new beginnings, also with exceptions. According to the principles of timing, with the moon, a brief window of opportunity this week occurs on Friday, February the 11th. Wow, come on somebody. Timing with the moon and opportunity periods with the void moon for times and techniques. They're saying that this upcoming aspect that's happening with the void of course moon is actually going to be happening on February the 11th, which is so interesting because that is the very day that I put in my resignation. So it is time for a radical rebirth. February 11th is very significant to me. One, because I am a life path number 11. We have 5 here. So 5 is actually a symbolic angel number for evolution and change. So the fact that radical rebirth pops out here is very fitting for this time. I'm having these mixed emotions about resigning from my work and starting this new phase in my life. And just like the void moon, you would think that that would indicate a null and void time, but actually this aspect is very promising for new beginnings. And sometimes you do have to make exceptions. Sometimes you do have to make exceptions to the rules. I know we oftentimes want to be very practical with the things in which we do, and I do feel like practicality does have its space, but something within me is just yielding me to just be a little more risky and have a little more courage as it relates to my own skills, talents, and abilities, and just ensuring that I am properly aligning myself in the environments, in the workplaces that's going to serve me best. One thing of importance was me just trying to get my own financial security and stability for myself. And to be honest, you guys, with this current position, that was something that I was able to do. And due to the fact that I was able to achieve that, I just feel like the universe is trying to nudge me to step into another big goal for myself. It's like, okay, you got your financial security and stability for yourself. Now what's next? I have been really touched with a lot of creative ideas and creative endeavors, and I realized that I have been utilizing my time in a way that's not really serving me in the direction as to which I would really truly like to go for my life. I feel like I have been in a space where I'm just coasting. I feel like I have been in a space where I'm just kind of playing it easy, playing it small. On a recent wake-up call, we talked about stepping into your lion and lioness energy and being that Leo. I'm actually a Leo moon, so the fact that these lions came out at a time where we have a void course moon, at the time where I'm going to be resonating for my job, and this message is calling for radical rebirth, she is showing her natural hair. And it's so funny because lately this week I've been saying thank you, it's an afro. And if y'all don't know that reference, it's one of the funny child videos that I go to that kind of like brings me joy. And earlier this week we talked about what are the things that's going to actually bring you joy. Every time I get a compliment now, I be like, thank you, it's afro. Hair in general is symbolic of like your crown energy. I just feel like it's time for me to truly wear my crown as the queen that I am and stop playing small. You get what I'm saying? Like, knowing that you are a leader, knowing that you are surrounded by strength, bravery, courage. Yes, at times lions can be considered very territorial, but it's really them protecting their family, them protecting their community, their land, what it is that they know from predators. And a lot of times you're going to come in contact with people who really don't understand the assignment that was given to you or the calling that was given to you over your life, and you really have to protect your vision. I would be amiss for all of these wonderful ideas that could literally change the course of my life and also help me to really step into my true life purpose and my soul mission. I would be amiss to just let those ideas fly by the wayside and not go after them. Me showing up for the wake-up call is just one of those ways where being in my life's calling, and you guys coming and engaging with these videos is truly encouraging to me. And I have definitely been in a space of mixed emotions where I'm trying to step out of the spaces of needing validation from others, not checking in with my loved ones and saying, what do you think? And just being like really secure in myself, my ideas, my thoughts, things that I'm thinking, trusting myself. I just feel like I'm tired of being in a space where I have a lack of trust of self, where I'm looking externally outside of myself to have all of these answers and thinking that looking outside of myself or making sure that I stay in a field that I'm used to is really going to help me to expand in the way in which I'm meant to expand. I always talk about how I always wanted to live overseas, right? And I've been challenged with that lately, and choosing to just continue to stay in my hometowns, continuing to be in my comfort zone, and covering up with disillusionment that, oh, it's because I want to be close to my family, oh, it's because I'm already familiar with the area. But in all actuality, you guys, I'm really a person on my earlier journey who just was afraid to take risk. And it's funny because I took a risk with my finances just this week as it related to my YouTube channel, and I definitely received reassurance that the risk that I took was very important. So beyond this, I'm definitely gonna have to be in a space where I am being a little more brave to take risk, and also making sure that I'm allotting my time in a way that is is going to serve exactly where it is that I want to be in my life, not necessarily where it is that other people think would be best for me. For y'all who don't know, I'm actually a college dropout. Due to the fact that I dropped out of college, I know that disappointed my family tremendously, and I also hold much regret about that, and I have a lot of resentment due to the fact that I have so much student loan debt. But if I would have just listened to my own intuition and trusted myself in the moment that I knew that college just didn't work out for me, rather than just going back to appease people or save face or make other people proud because I had a piece of paper or because I went to a prestigious school, then I could have saved myself a lot of time and money. But now I'm 27 years old. I am on a journey to financial freedom. I am paying for doing the very thing that other people wanted me to do. Granted, I really enjoyed it at the very beginning, but over the course of time, I started to realize that it wasn't for me, but I stayed anyway and ultimately ended up dropping out. So that's just one example of how you guys have to trust yourself, and knowing that if you don't, just go ahead and trust yourself. Go ahead and listen to your intuition. Have security in your own movements. Have security in your own thoughts. You would end up ultimately having to pay for it later. It's time for you guys to really step into a space where you are open to change, that you are open to the process of evolving, knowing that the process of evolving is not going to always feel pretty or look pretty. It could feel very radical, as if you are in the wild. But know that, what is the saying? Women who are well behaved rarely make history. Yeah, get a little wild. Be like the woman who danced with wolves, or in this case, be like the woman who danced with the lions, because there is definitely strength and power in that. Hold y'all head up. Know exactly who it is that you are. Know that you are a divine one. Know that you are called for a purpose. You playing small does not serve you well. It is time for you to dance and live out loud. Definitely go and check out that message. And I just feel like, even though I didn't want to necessarily read these supporting cards because I pulled them before, we got 2 5s here. 2 plus 3 equals 5, and you got 2 5s here, which is 10. If anyone knows anything about 10s, that is you going into a new beginning. Like 10 is that number that starts off the double digits. We are moving from our 9s going into our 10s, and I feel like that's really, really amazing for us to be able to step into that space more deeply and more intensely, and just really follow those nudges that y'all get. Even if you feel like you don't have all the tools that you need, go after that thing, because honestly, you have everything that you need to succeed. And don't think for a second that you are not prepared for this, because you have been preparing for this for lifetimes. I'm gonna pull one more. This was my first oracle deck, so I reach for it quite often. It's been calling to me, so I let it. Is there one more message that we have for the journeys as it relates to being in mixed emotions about the new beginnings that we are stepping into in our lives? Okay, this one, talk to me a little bit. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. This looks very, very void. So expect powerful change. Radical rebirth is literally this. So we have to be in a space where we are in expectancy of the change that's happening, because that change is going to be powerful. It may not always look like we expect it to, but trust that nothing is null and void. Powerful change is on the way for y'all. You just have to be in expectancy of it and open to receive it. So can y'all open yourselves up for a powerful change that's going to happen in your life? You had 2 5s to come out in this reading, and that is definitely amplifying this change that is coming up for us. And I just cannot wait to hear y'all's stories, how this is resonating with y'all, and I want y'all to report back to this video when you really do get the fullness in the manifestation of what this truly means in your life. Yeah, journey, so this has been a wake-up call. Are you going to answer the call?